Hello everyone. So we will start the second animation. We have worked on one animation, right, for the last month, and you guys have sent me the assignments for it. I didn't check it yet. I will check it and let you know for the feedbacks. So the second animation, we will also make a number of animation in one single um, animation. So there will be different parts of it. Um, the first thing we will do is a simple walk cycle. Okay. I think the brush is a problem. A simple walk cycle. We will do a complex walk cycle. Walk cycle means we will make a person walk, right? So because it's a little bit complex. So as this is the first time we are doing a walk cycle, I'll just make a very simple one. Later, maybe in the third animation, we will be doing a complex walk cycle. Number 2 is background. Okay, so we will be drawing the background, and basically there will be a background drawing, maybe a forest or a land or something. Okay, and there will be a person who is walking across the background, across the scene. All right, this will be the first part, and second part of it will be some others, other extension of the same animation. So this together will be one single animation, but we will be doing part by part. So this week we will be doing the simple walk cycle and the background design. All right. Maybe next week we will be doing another part of the animation like this. So total together, that will be one single animation short film. Okay, for few minutes. I mean, not more than I think 30 seconds or 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, not more than that. And that is what an animation short film or a movie is composed of, different parts, right? So before that, what I need you guys to do is to practice making the plan. Okay, now see, I have just drawn two panels, all right, just one panel. Now this is a simple one single panel what we are going to do. There will be a background and there will be a character walking. Okay, so you don't need to do anything for this one, like the planning, which is called storyboarding, right? We have learned this subject, I think, isn't it? I think you guys have studied storyboarding. So storyboarding is when you are drawing panel after panel before making your animation or your film. So while doing it in here in the software, there will be a number of steps that we have to think about: drawing the background, creating the layers, creating the twinings, all those things. Now, if you have a storyboard with you, okay, then it is very much easier for you to do the animation. This is scene 1, this is scene 2, scene 3, scene 4. So you have everything planned according to the to whatever you want to make. Okay, so today we are going to make just scene 1, right? So it will be just the background and there will be a character who is walking. So not a very complex one, very simple one. Next class, there will be a little bit complex one. So there might be two parts of the same scene. So I will want you guys to draw the storyboard. Okay, so have some paper with you, paper and pencil or pen, because that will be the part of the assignment to draw the storyboard, then creating the animation in Flash, in Animate. All right, but today's one will be very simple. We are just going to draw one scene not required for any kind of storyboarding. Now, for the background design, there can be a number of designs. Not necessarily you have to just exactly copy what I am doing. Of course, you can do it and look out for ideas, but it's not mandatory for you to do exactly the drawing that I'm doing. Secondly is background you can make in Photoshop. Okay, background will be a picture. It's just a picture. Okay, and you can animate certain part of the background, but if you just want to make a picture and there will be no animation in the background, you can make it in the Photoshop. All right, or you can do it in Flash. All right, I will not show you to make it in Photoshop because we are not learning Photoshop software, but if you know Photoshop well and you know how to integrate Photoshop and animate together, you can do it. But I will show you how to draw the background in Animate itself. All right. Now for the background, the background is divided into different parts. Okay. One is the background, actual background, which will be at the back, which will be at the distance. Okay. So for example, the sky or the mountain. All right. This is the background in the distance. Okay. So this is the third layer. Okay. Second is the middle ground. So this is the middle. Okay, this is the second layer. All right. And the last is the foreground or the front part, which is called the foreground. Okay, or the front, which is the first layer. Now, when you're traveling in car or in train, you must have noticed that things which is now you are traveling in a car, right? Things which are near to you goes away, goes to the opposite direction very fast. Things which are far away from you, there is a mountain far away from you, that seems to be going rather slowly than things which are near to you. Again, I'm repeating, when you are moving, things which are near to you seems to be going in the opposite. So if you are moving in the in this direction, things which are near to you is moving in the opposite direction very fast, rather than things which are far away from you is moving rather slowly in the opposite direction. Now you are moving in this direction, right? So there are different speed in which we have to move each of this part in the opposite direction to see someone moving in this direction. All things will be clear when we are doing. But I want to tell you this because we have to keep in our mind that the background layers has to be made differently. The third layer, which is at the back, at the distance. Okay, the second layer, which is the middle ground, and the first layer, which is the foreground. Okay, so your character can be basically in the middle of the middle ground or foreground. Okay, or in the middle ground. All right, so there will be something in the foreground, there will be your character in the middle ground, and something in the background. The next thing to notice over in the background is there should not be a lot of disturbance. Disturbance means if you are drawing too much, you know, we have learned this in principle of animation. Okay, if you're drawing too many things in the background, right? And there is a character, and there are a lot of things around him. Okay, you cannot barely see the character properly. So you have to arrange the thing properly that your character, which is the main thing in your animation, should be visible properly among the background. Got it? So that is, there should not be any much disturbance in your scene. So the thing you have to keep in your mind properly is the staging, how you are arranging the stage. Okay, how you are making the you are selecting the colors, you're selecting the foreground, middle ground. Not too many elements. Too many elements will be very much disturbed. Okay, so for the beginning, I will make a background, but you can copy that, or for the beginning, you can make a very simple one. Again, 3 layers, the last layer for the background, the middle layer, and the foreground layer. It should always be 3 layers. Follow my process, but not necessarily you have to exactly copy what I am making, but you can do it, no issues. You can copy exactly what I am doing because this is the first time you're making a background, or you can make your own background. But again, keep that in your mind that you should not put a lot of things, you should not put a lot of colors. Okay, that you know your character will be lost among all those elements in your background. Okay, so make sure you do not do that, but I will prefer if you just follow the similar kind of background what I am making, or just copy what I am doing, or if you want to make some changes, just do the similar kind of background, not very different. Okay, okay, so I'll delete all this. So I'll make a simple city. There will be some buildings at the back and some front buildings, a road, and so let me just first draw the basic, uh, guide layer. Always it's very good practice to just make a guide layer. Then you can finalize the shapes and everything. Okay, so basically there will be some buildings at the back. Let's make it a little bit cartoonish rather than very much realistic, because our character will be a little bit like a cartoon, not a realistic character. And if you're making a background, I mean, a character which is a cartoonish character, don't make the background very realistic. There should be a connection overall through the animation. Okay. And another thing is extend the drawing beyond the frame, because the main thing is we are going to make the background big, and the stage, which is this white portion that you are seeing, where the animation basic thing is happening, that will be smaller than the background. So you can extend the background or make the background bigger in size. That is why some prefer to do it in Photoshop and bring it here and, increase the size of it. But if you're doing in Flash, I mean in Animate, just do it, make it bigger. That's it. Okay, so this is my this is my background, like the distant background. Okay. Let's call it, rename the layers always. I will call it background. Then I will draw the middle ground. Okay. Again, this is not my final drawing, so I'll just draw the sketch. Just a simple building. I'm just planning all these things on my head while drawing, just making the sketch. This thing you can make it on paper, then draw it whatever you like uh, in the final version. This one also you can make, but I'm not drawing it on paper. I can show you that. So I'm just making this basic sketch here. Then I'm going to make the final version. Again, don't make it very realistic because we are making a cartoon animation, this one. And so okay. Let's draw a few more houses. So this is the middle ground. Okay, along with the I'll explain you why everything I have extended. Um, you can draw everything inside. You can make it small, draw it, and then extend it. Okay, make the size bigger. Doesn't matter because this is a vector-based software. But if you're drawing like this, you will have a basic idea, better idea about your drawing. How much part will be coming inside, how much part is going outside. But you can draw everything inside and then just extend, I mean, increase the shape of this using the free transform tool. The resolution will not be affected because this is a vector-based software. Okay, and okay, and so let's just put some colors here to get an idea. Basically, this step, what I am doing, is called blocking. I'm blocking the main shapes or whatever I'm going to draw. Okay. And then for any change, I can just do in this layer, and this is called a basic planning. Okay. It's very important because if you're making everything at the first time and later if you see that you need some changes, it's very difficult to do any kind of correction in animate. Whenever you are making an animation, it's very difficult to do any kind of corrections later because it's a lot of work, you know, it's a lot of extra work that you have to do. So always make sure what you're doing, then go ahead and do the final one. There is no problem in doing 3-4 times the rough work before doing the final one, because many of you are asking me questions why this is not working, why this is not working. The thing is, you are not checking it before doing the final work. Okay, so please make sure that you are checking the work many number of times, do the rough work, then you can make the final drawing. So these are all rough work. You can see that I am giving a lot of time while doing my rough works because it's very important. Okay, so this is my second layer, the middle, and the background will be basically a road layer. Okay, and I mean the foreground, sorry, the foreground this is my foreground layer. I want to draw some lamp post in the foreground. Okay, so this is my basic idea about the, okay, so the background, I forgot to draw the sky. Okay, so this is my overall basic sketch. You can do the same kind of thing or you can change your drawings. You can make anything else, but try to draw a similar one, not a very different one. You can draw the nightlife, like a nightscape of the city like this. Okay. So now I'm going to make the final drawing of this. So for this part, I think okay, yeah, I'm going to make the final drawing. Just finalizing all the parts. And you can first make the background and then the middle ground and the foreground, or the foreground, middle ground, background, whatever you want to. Now I want to make the background first. So I'll just switch all these two things up. I'll draw the background and all these are my guide layers. Okay, so name it middle guide and background guide and foreground guide. Now keep in mind one thing, this thing can be done on the paper itself. but I can't show you drawing on the paper, right? So I'm drawing it here. So I'm going to make all these things. You can draw it on the paper, click a picture of it, post the picture, import the picture in animate. Okay, then you can use that picture as a guide, as a sketch layer, as a guide. Okay, so that thing also can be done. Anyways, I'll just now make the final background layer. Take your time when you're drawing. Don't draw rough drawings now. Okay, now you are all in the second stage. So make your drawing quite nice and, try to bring in the finesse of the drawing. So first, let me do the sky. So I have locked all these background layers. Okay, but I just showed you the layout. I don't need this. So let me on. I don't need the background, this one basically. I want a blue, dark blue, because I want to make it night theme. Then now paint it. Now, if you want to create a gradient, okay, I'll show you. Or else you can just draw another lighter tone. There's some problem, I think, with the settings. Anyways, let it be this. Okay, now Just giving some dots for the stars. You can take the reference from here and start doing your own background drawing. Okay. Okay. You can zoom in and to do it with more detailing. You can rotate the canvas like this. And pan the canvas like this also. Just make sure when you're drawing this line, this white portion is not visible. So you can see I am drawing the building lines over the sky layer only. There's no problem in extending it down because anyways this will be covered with the middle ground and foreground, but it's better to do this because in any case, this white background should not be visible. So this is a salute form of the background. Get a little bit darker. Can be very much creative, use your own ideas while drawing the background. Okay, so this is the the background. Now let's draw the middle ground. And please name the layers properly, because later it can become very much disturbing if you don't name it properly. Okay, now we will draw the middle ground, buildings. I will mute myself in this part because I'm just drawing. It's not required for any kind of commentary. If there is anything, I'll just unmute myself and tell you what I have done. But you can just follow the drawing, okay? How I'm just doing it. Right. So I think you can see that how in details I'm doing each and every part. It's just understanding the light and shadow. This is one major thing that you should do when you are doing the background drawing. Um, make sure you decide one light and shadow in whatever background you are doing. And each part of the drawing should correspond with that, or else it will look very odd. Okay, so take your time. You can see that doing this much only have taken a lot of time for me, right? But it's fine. Um, take your time whenever you are doing the background drawing. The more detail you will draw the background, it will look much nicer. Okay, so I'm not going to finish this because this will take a lot of time. I will do it and I will send you the video, but not along with this one in the same file, because this will take a lot of time. As you can see, this much only. I just showed you how to do this detailed drawing for each part of this background. I'll send you this reference picture also. I mean, this picture of whatever I'm doing, so that you can have, and I will send you the complete work video, a separate file, because I want to make some changes over here, delete some areas to make it look better. Okay, so I'm not including that in this class video. Along with this class video, I will be sending you just this background drawing work file. And play it, you can take a reference from that. You can create the same background or else create another background of the same, but do it similar to this one, not a very different one. Do it similar to this one. Now I will show you the character animation, okay, the walk cycle, because that is very important. Now, what we will do is leave the background here. Just so first I'll just make a very simple character with a oval tool. Let's change the color of this. You can change the stroke from here. There are different kinds of stroke. Okay, you can change the stroke from here. I'll just use this one for the time being. The second layer, I'll make the eyes. The eyes, I'll change the stroke to Copy and paste. Okay. And so this is I. And in the third layer, I'll make the pupil because I want the character to close and open his eyes. Okay. So this is the head layer. So very simple enough head. Now, what I'll do is make some frames. Right. In the seventh frame, F6, create two keyframes and change the shape of the eyes, make it a little bit small. It's like squishing, it's like closing, right? Next, on the ninth frame, again, F6. Make it even more smaller. Okay. Now in the pupil layer, from the 10th frame to the 13th frame, now the eyes are closing, right? So from the pupil layer won't be visible. So from the 10th frame to the 13th frame, I want to delete it. Okay, so from the 10th frame to the 13th frame, clear frames. Okay, now this I want to close. So on the 10th frame, I don't want this. I don't want the white portion. So fill it up. In place of this, I want just 2 strokes. You can switch on the onion key to see where the eye is. So here. Okay. Now continue doing this for these 3 frames. F6, 6. Okay, so closing the eye. Now on the 14th frame, I need the eye to be open. Now copy this 9th frame because these two will be similar just up before closing the eye and just after closing the eye. I mean opening the eye. So copy this and paste. All right. Then again on the 15th frame, this 7th frame will be repeating. So copy, go to the 7th frame, copy frames, and on the 15th frame, paste frames, all right? And on the 16th frame, the first frame will be copied. Okay, we can go to the first frame, copy frames, on the 16th frame, paste frames. Okay. And you can delete this. I don't need so much time here. So actually you can bring all these frames. Delete. Yeah, so if everything is within 12, 15 frame, it will be nice. Okay. So it's like this, blinking the eye. Right? Now our head is done. Now, as you can notice, I have done this in a new layer, I mean new work, and not in the background. I didn't convert it into any kind of symbol. Okay. Now, if you have done like that, then what you can do is you can select all the frames, right click, cut frames. You can go to insert, new symbol. So let's name it heads. Okay. Now this is one symbol, right? And you can just paste it here. Sorry. Right click, paste frames. So all the frames are pasted over here, and it's a new symbol. So you can import it from the library anywhere. Okay. So you can see it in the library. The head is done. Now we will going to create the legs of it. So you can delete all these. In this way also you can create elements for the library. Always keep things in the library. It will be much easier for you to work. Okay, so for the legs, we are going to move it in for certain steps. Okay, it's like the legs are stepping and walking. So it's we are making a very simple one. We are not making the full version of the walk cycle because that will be a little bit complex for now. But we will follow the different principles of a walk cycle. So we are back on the stage, main stage. We need the reference for the head. So we are bringing the head in. Just make it small. I don't want this much big. Okay. And the new layer, I'll name it leg. Right. Kindly follow the steps properly. Because it can be, I mean, if you're not doing these steps properly, the work cycle will not be correct. All right, before that, I just want a line which will be the reference for the work. Because my steps can be different, right? The height can be different. So I want the line. Okay, you can log this layer. So for the first step, you can use this line tool. If it's too narrow, I think this is too narrow, you can increase the depth of the stroke from the properties. This is fine. Another thing you can do is change the two colors of the leg. That means The back leg can be a little bit darker. Okay. Go to we are doing in seconds. That means every alternate frames. F F5, then it's just a 9 frame. We will make it 10. F7. Now I'll just draw the back legs first because in every of the alternate frames, because I've changed the color. Again, kindly follow the steps properly or else it will be a problem. So for the second step, the body is coming down. Okay. So here, this will be coming down. Now, I've just done it for a reference for the color. And for the first leg, it will be going back. Okay. Let's come to the fifth frame. For the fifth frame, the body is again going up. In the leg layer, F7. Now this back leg just this color. The back leg will be going cross at the back. And the front leg will be coming cross at the front. So, okay. Frame number 7. 7. Again for the next frame, the body will be coming down a little bit. It should basically have the same place as the first frame. For this one, the back leg will be the front, and the front leg which is stepping. Okay, let's see how it looks. Mm, Here, both of the legs are the same color, so I need to correct this. This one I'm not happy as I'll change it. Back leg will be going front. The front leg going back. So you can do the corrections until you are happy. Here the body will come down a little. Okay, so I think this is fine. Another thing is I need to adjust a little with the pupil, opening and closing. So what will I do is I'll insert one frames over here. Just increasing the time of the work. Okay, so now if I play it, yeah, this also looks fine. Actually, this looks better. So I'll keep it like this. So this work is done. Now please copy each of these frames properly. Okay, please make each of these frames in your drawings in a proper way. Because if you're missing it, if I'm changing it, it won't look nice. Okay, so the basic idea will be this character will be working at the same place, but when we are playing the background, when you will make the background will be moving in the opposite direction. Okay, so if the background is moving in the opposite direction, it will look that this character is walking this way. Okay, so we will see how to make it, and we will now make the background. Please make the background with all the details along with this video. So today's task, you have to do this one, right? And okay, so sorry, I just forgot to show you how to make. Again, we will make it a symbol as a work cycle. So I don't need this one, this layer, because we have this ground there. So just copy all these frames or just cut frames, insert new symbol, work cycle, right? Paste frames or control alt V. Okay, so it is now a symbol. So if, for example, you want the it to be here, you go to the library. Remember, this is a separate work altogether. It's another work. I have done this in this file. This one I was doing in this file. So it doesn't matter. You go to the library. Okay. See, I have every single file, whatever animation I have made, every single file I have over here. So you can export something from a previous animation you have done into here. So, and if you are making anything into a symbol, everything will be in the library. Okay, so you can easily bring in the work cycle in this animation. Got it? You can change the overall shape of it. Right? But if when you're playing it, the same animation will be reflected over here. Okay, so two things to do in this class. One is to make this work cycle, and the next one is this background. Okay, I will send you, along with this class video, I will send you another file where I have only done the background in detail. You can follow that. You can take it as a reference. I'm not telling you to copy each and every part that I have done. You can do it at whatever as you like, make some changes, but not a very different one, similar one. Whenever you are doing the background, make sure there is a background, okay, and there is a middle ground, and there is a foreground or a front. So three parts, three layers should be there: the middle ground, the background, and the foreground. Okay, always do that in different layers. You can also have the sky in different layers, these faraway buildings in different layers, these buildings in different layers. These are the basic three layers. Apart from that, you can even make other layers. If you're putting trees or bins or cars or anything, those can be in different layers. So everything, if they are in different layers, it will be better. After everything, we will make it into a symbol. Okay, and we will animate it. I'll show you that other file where only the background has been made, because it will take a lot of time to make the background in details. Okay, so right, so do this swag cycle as well as a background. No need to send me the files in this week. Do your works, because we are going to continue this animation into the next week. But before next week class, make sure these two things are done: the background, okay, and the character. Just this work and the eyelids closing and opening. These two things should be done before the next class. All right, so I'm stopping this video. Kindly, along with this video, see the other video with the only the background drawing. Then, and along with it, you can also start your works.